If we leave our minds on the default mode network and just let them be how they want to be, our minds go to the worst case scenario all the time. We are meant to survive. Our brains are wired to survive. So we are constantly looking for threats. We know this. We're all caught up into anxiety spirals right now. So what I love about these manifestation practices and other things like meditation is we're taking the reins of our minds, these powerful, powerful tools that we have, and consciously using them to co-create. So rather than letting them go wild with fear and worry, which by the way, worry is just negative manifesting because you're focused on and dwelling on and putting our attention on the things that we don't want. So let's not do that and start to do these practices like the gratitude journaling I just mentioned. It's just a way to, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, it's a way to consciously grab the reins of your mind and use it in the positive way. Imagination, visualization, and elevated emotion, really potent recipe for not only healing, but for manifesting. Watch, heal, and learn about Joe Dispenza's story and work. Another thing that I've been playing with lately is the 2 words, just imagine. So I had this woman on the podcast named Judith Richards. She has an incredible story. She healed herself from severe mental breakdown. I mean, like borderline schizophrenia, all these things. And she just had this total awakening and realized how to, within 3 sessions, like completely heal really gnarly trauma. The Richards trauma process, so TRTP. And in that, she gets her clients and patients to visualize, and she uses the words, just imagine. And when she told me this, I got chills and I started playing with the words. When I say just imagine, and then I spend a few minutes imagining what I want and fantasizing, I mean, my whole face lights up. I can't help but smile. It is such a fun exercise. Again, a way to consciously grab the reins of our minds and just imagine. I want you guys to close your eyes if you're listening to this and not driving a vehicle, operating some sort of, tractor or cooking hot things at a stove. If it is safe to do so, close your eyes, kind of drop your shoulders, take a few deep breaths. Say the words, just imagine. So think of something that you desire, whether it's a raise, whether it's a new home, whether it's a romantic partner, your soulmate, a child, healing. I just want you to spend 5 minutes now or after you listen to this and say the words, just imagine. And then spend the 5 minutes imagining. Just imagine how I would feel. Just imagine how you would feel when you're like, if it was a child that you want, how you would feel pregnant, the doctor telling you that everything is healthy, how you would feel when you give birth and you're holding the baby for the first time skin to skin, how you would feel when you drop them off at preschool. Like, just imagine this beautiful child looking into your eyes and saying mom or dad. Like, that's the exercise. Just the words, just imagine, allow you to be in a childlike state, imagining the things you desire. And it's so fun. Just 5 minutes of this, pick 3 things that you want and just play for 5 minutes. Just imagine with those words. It's completely changed my world because, again, it's lighting me up. I know my energy and my frequency is shifting for the better, and I am shifting the vibration that I'm putting out in the world, and that will shift what I magnetize and attract back to me. So not only do we get to fantasize and get a clear picture in our brain and send that information out into the field, and we're imagining it and feeling, again, those elevated emotions, and then all of a sudden, it's informing the field to start to rearrange life in a different way and start to bring those potentials into possibility and into the forefront. And so a lot of these practices are about shifting our state, using our mind and our elevated emotions. And just imagine is kind of two words that really work for me. Okay. So 2 things that get in the way of manifestation. Once we do these practices, if you start thinking about the how it's going to happen, buzzkill. Kills all the energy and the frequency in 2 seconds, because you have to know that we are in this incredible, intelligent, like there is an intelligence that is orchestrating everything. That's why when you think of someone halfway across the world and then you look at your phone and they've just texted you, like there is a connection that we've all had synchronicities that just make, and coincidences that make us just, our jaws drop and go, wow, we couldn't have like orchestrated that better. So there is a divine intelligence orchestrating all of this. And it's much more intelligent than our limited thinking. I promise you that. So when you start to think about the how, it's just going to immediately and go, this is impossible. Just know that it's impossible in our limited thinking. But woo, do we live in a world of infinite possibility. And there's an intelligence that is orchestrating something for us aligned with that frequency of our dreams that is much bigger and better than we could ever imagine for ourselves. So trust. Don't worry about the how. Focus on the what and say that or something better. Just know that it's going to come in. The other thing that's going to kill the manifestation and the momentum is frustration with timelines. The more we play, the more we practice, the more we shift our state and our frequency on a daily basis and play and visualize and get ourselves in that state of elevated emotion, the more things are going to start organizing in the field. The minute we get frustrated or start to look for evidence that like, oh, it's not here, now we're putting our attention and we're creating something completely different. We're looking at the lack of something, and all of our intention and frequency and information is focusing on that. And then, the reality is going to shift and give us more of that evidence. So really just trust me when I say I've been doing this since 2007 and my life has gotten better and better and better. We're all going to have to go through our challenges of what we're here to learn and grow. So it's not all rainbows and roses. For the most part, I would say I have tremendous health and vitality because I constantly am giving gratitude for it. And I'm really, really exercising these positive states in my system every day through these practices, as much as I think. There's times when it completely goes out the window, and look, we're human. Like, I don't do this all the time, but the more I do it, the more I really see the evidence and see things shift and miracles occur and magic occurs. And I love to live in that world, in that space. So all that to say, practice every day. Find the practices that work for you, play, and then let it go. You've got to trust that there's an intelligence orchestrating all of this for you. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the time. Just trust and keep going, because at the very least, and I promise you this is only the least, there's so much more that's going to come into your life. At the very least, for those moments, you're shifting your state and you're in this like expansive, elevated emotional state of gratitude and love and ecstasy and bliss and joy. And isn't that what life is all about? Isn't that what they say? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. We're generating joy and gratitude, and we're using our minds to visualize what we want rather than letting our minds take control and us being in state of worry and anxiety all the time. Hope that makes sense. Okay, now, I understand a lot of you might be listening and go, yeah, I've tried it. I'm frustrated. It works for you. You could say that I'm privileged. And it's easy for me to say, and I don't blame you. I get it. I am very privileged. I will say, I was talking to someone who I've been with very close to my entire life. And we were having this conversation, and they told me, they were like, well, look, you have a different level of resources. It's easy for you to do these things. And I said, well, what came first, the resources or the practices? Because this person and I came from the exact same background, a lot of the same things. And I've been practicing these things. And so I would just caution you to keep an open mind and give these practices another shot. Flood your consciousness with things that are going to support these practices, give it 90 days and see if things shift.